All right, this is part three. This will be my final part. I'll make it a 1 hour, 1.5 video, and I'm done. As I'm a little tired. I made two videos today, obviously. Well, I made a video yesterday, but it's pretty much like one day, right? Yeah, so I have 39 minutes. That's my phone, but I only babble on for 30 minutes. I'll end the camera here, upload it, go to the store, get a pack of smokes, come back and enjoy the show, obviously. You guys better enjoy this stupid listening series while you can. I know my videos are interesting, but you better enjoy this stupid listening series while you can. As once I find out how rookie you are, I'm done. I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you win the game. I'm gonna win the game. You're gonna be left behind when I'm king, and my wife's screwing with me. I'm not gonna let you do like that. Obviously, you caused mess in my life and killed me, especially killed me to be with her, and you're gonna pay a price too. When I'm king, my wife's with me. We're billionaires living the life. We're movie stars. We're part of that fame. For lots of things, we go on that world tour. For lots of his names, you guys are all left behind, and you're banned from God's glory. Yeah. Whereas those actors chosen for Zayn is Peter Jackson, Mel Gibson. Even though they don't deserve to be saved, they're the lucky ones. They're going to get to experience that glory with IMBJ. Especially guys like Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson. If they're hired, they're going to be they're going to be experiencing the fame with me for like 5 years, man. 5 years of their life, they're going to be saved, man. A long time. 4.5, 5 years, they're going to be saved. They're going to be saved, obviously. You see what I'm saying? They're going to be saved, obviously. They're going to be saved. There's a good chance I might hire the directors. There's a good chance I might hire the directors. I might hire the directors when me and VJ take that 1 year vacation before. That way we plan. We can scout Lounge Peter Jackson. No. Just hire them when we start the process of Zanus. It's easier that way. Well, I just hire them when I start. The moment the office is open for business, I'm gonna give Peter Jackson's agent and Mel Gibson's agent a call. I'm gonna have my secretaries call their agents right away. There's a good chance their agents will call my office, obviously, because they want to get their hands on my story. But I'm gonna call their agents right away, hire them within the first week. That way we can start planning the story and we can begin working and writing the script and doing the concerts and making those business calls. Leasing the top-notch IMS cameras, buying the best food for the farms to feed the crewmen, the kitchen equipment, the machining for the masks, the equipment for the cameras, the hotel party, red carpet event. We have to call the organizer. They have to sign that deal, obviously. All that stuff. Making the sign that deal with Amazon for the merchant movie, 4K Blu-ray movie sales. Yeah, we have to make those calls, obviously. Machine for the costumes, obviously, right? And the weapons and armor. We have to make those calls. Get the best equipment for making the weapons. So rent the best equipment for Wedded Workshop to make the weapons, obviously, and armor. And the best equipment for the clothing for the main actors. For all the actors. All the actors in my movies, I want their clothes. I want even Airtat to wear clothing too. Custom make clothing for Airtat too. All that stuff. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Whereas the actors you just rented, the clothing for the actors rented. Call Top Notch Medieval Company. You know what I'm saying? And rent it for all the extras. 6,000 extras. It'll cost millions of dollars. Easily afford with a 9. The clothing and weapons alone. The clothing, armor, and weapons will cost like 35 million bucks, man. 30 million bucks around there. I'm gonna have a budget of about $30 million for the clothing and armor and all that stuff, which is more than enough. So I'll have a budget of $30 million for the sets, $30 million for the clothing and weapons and armor, which is more than enough. Obviously, that's more than enough. As in Lord of the Rings, they probably put like 2 million towards all that, to 1 million towards clothing. They had a small budget, whereas I have a huge budget for clothing and weapons. The clothing and weapons are not that big of a cost. The clothing isn't that big of a cost, but the costumes and weapons are a bigger cost. Obviously, the real cost for my movie is the CGI technology. That's where the real cost is. The CGI technology. Like I'm pouring $390 million towards special effects, man, for CGI technology, for the blue screen, green screen. That's something crazy, man. Something unheard of. And that's why Peter Jackson will be shocked. Like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. So I've never seen anything like this before. Yeah, he's gonna be shocked. And that's why he'll beg his ass off, because I gave him an unlimited budget, man. Whereas Lord of the Rings, they gave him a fuck you budget. A fuck you budget, man. 90 million shit. Obviously. I'm telling you, all you actors chosen for Zayn, you guys see feature, you guys are all gonna be shocked when you read my book. And it's good. My book is so good that all the other actors in Hollywood are all going to be envious of the actors. Oh my god, you guys are so lucky. You get to be a part of this amazing story. I even wrote a masterpiece. You get to be a part of this amazing story. Eric had to Dell himself. I had a blast reading this book. You guys are going to bring these characters to life. Yeah, man. The actors are lucky. Yeah, lucky actors. And Peter Jackson and McGuinness are the lucky ones who are going to get to direct my movie and bring the world to life, obviously. In other words, once you read my book, you're going to be shocked, but once I adapt to the big screen and I bring the world to life, you see the world of Xanus, the North, the South, the cursed South, Eretat the devil himself, and Fool, his cursed son, the abomination. Because Fool is called the abomination in the book. He's Eretat's son, obviously, the prince of the South, obviously. He feasts his devil king back in the mountains. You know, like, holy shit. You see all these demonic characters, they're like, holy shit, this movie looks sick. Yeah, the unheard of technology for the world building, the extras, you know what I'm saying? Action scenes, it's a horror of the wolves and bats. Yeah, man, something crazy. Hence why both directors are gonna want to get their hands on my movie, my story so bad. I want to direct a movie so bad. I can't wait to direct his movie. Peter Jackson McGuinness, I guarantee you they're joining for joy when they watch my videos. Oh my god, Ivan's considering me. Yes, I'm considering you guys as I can't think of any director better for my movie than Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson. Those are my top two candidates, obviously. And Peter Jackson, he did Lord of the Rings, man. Lord of the Rings is the best movie chosen for me. Like, I'm gonna tell Peter Jackson, look, man, whatever you did for Lord of the Rings, I want you to work double hard for my movie and do that for Xanus too. The magic that you did for Lord of the Rings, the originals, I want you to do that for my movie. I don't want you winging it like you did for The Hobbit. I want you to be well prepped for 3 years of production like you were in Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, you had 3 years to prep yourself. That's why the movies were amazing. I want you to prep yourself for 3 years. That way you get an amazing movie with your assistant director. My two tutorials will be helping you, obviously. You see what I'm saying here? And I'll have Peter Jackson give the first unit directors and second unit directors his directing notes. That way they have some good ideas for scenes, obviously. Okay, Peter, give your notes to the assistant director, to the first unit director and second unit director, and have them study your notes. That way they can help you out with ideas. That way everyone's prepped, man. Because I don't want you guys winging it for my movie, man. Xanus is my fucking baby. I don't want anyone ruining that story, man. I wrote a masterpiece. There's nothing worse than writing a fucking amazing book and the movie adaptation is terrible. No, I want my movie to be better than my book. I want my movie adaptation to be better than my book. Hence why I'm pouring unheard amount of money into it. I'm hiring like the best crewmen in Hollywood, the ones who worked in Lord of the Rings. Pay them a nice $150,000 that way they work. I know what I'm doing. I'm paying them $150,000 that way they all work double harder for me. That way I'll get a better movie. Obviously, I know what I'm doing. If you pay the crewmen, if you hire the best of the best, the crewmen who worked in Lord of the Rings, so that those same crewmen who helped create that masterpiece, Lord of the Rings, the originals, hire those same people to work on your movie, and you pay them more money. Hence, they're going to work harder for you. Feed them with luxury buffet. Hence, they're going to work hard for you. Spoil them once in parties. Fly them privately. Obviously, hire the best Hollywood actors, pay them their millions, more than what even Hollywood pays. Hence, you're going to get better acting from those actors. Hence, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. If you pay these actors more money, you're going to get better acting for them and spoil them. You're going to get better acting for them than you even got in Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, the actors for Lord of the Rings did an amazing job. Well, imagine acting 2 times better than that for my movie. And these actors are going to pour their heart and soul into the character because I paid them their millions. I paid them a lot of money, man. Whereas those Lord of the Rings actors got shitty money. They got shitty money. So imagine, the crewmen in Lord of the Rings worked their asses off for the original Lord of the Rings movies, and the actors worked their asses off for the Lord of the Rings movies for peanuts. So guys like Elijah Wood, Viggo Mortensen, Orlando Bloom, you know what I'm saying? Ron John Davis, whatever his name. John something Davis, right? Those actors, you saw the movie, yeah, these actors pour their heart and soul into the character. Those actors for Lord of the Rings, they pour their heart and soul into the character, and they were making peanuts pretty much. They were making shitty money. The only actors who I believe made good money were like Ian McKellen and like Christopher Lee. Those were like the only actors who got their millions. Was everyone else, they got like a couple $100,000 for every movie. They got shitty money, and yet you still got amazing acting with them. Well, imagine me paying the actors for Xanus their unheard amount of money, their millions, a rich salary. They're going to work double harder for me. Yeah, I'm spoiling the luxury buffet. Hence why I'm going to get a better movie. Yeah, obviously. So I'm hiring the same crewmen who worked in Lord of the Rings, the originals, obviously, except I'm paying them way more money, $150,000 and $200,000 for the supervisors, obviously. And I'm spoiling the buffet. Hence, they're going to work double harder for me. Hence, I'm going to get a better movie for the sets, the CGI equipment, the CGI technology, all that stuff. I'm paying the extras on her amount of money, $180. That's like a 9-to-5 job salary. I'm paying the extras so much that the extras can even take time off work. They can take 2 weeks off work because I'm paying them $180 a day. which is like how much people make for a 9 to 5 job. And so I'm paying even the actors a rich salary. Whereas in Lord of the Rings, I guarantee you some of the actors didn't get paid. Because I remember I saw the behind the scenes, and one of the actors was like, "Oh my god, are we even gonna get paid for this?" Because Hollywood's fucking cheap. Yeah, Hollywood's so fucking cheap. I was like, guarantee you sometimes they don't even pay the extras, man. No, man. If don't be cheap. If you have extras in your movie, pay them a salary, man. That way they work hard for you. And I'm paying all the extras for Zanus a rich $180 a day, which is a nice paycheck for an extra, man. That's how much you make for it. It's such a rich salary that people can even take time off work just to work for my movie because we're making a lot of money. You work for 10 days as an extra, you make $1,800 for yourself. It's a nice paycheck. Has the extras are even getting a rich salary? Yeah. Hence why Last of Us will be a better movie, guaranteed. Obviously. I'm paying Peter Jackson more money. Oh, Peter Jackson made more for Lord of the Rings. He got points. He got a piece of the profits, obviously. But I'm paying him a richer salary than what he made for Lord of the Rings. He only got like $10 million for Lord of the Rings, I heard. Obviously. Whereas for my movie, I'm paying him a rich $75 million. And I'm spoiling the chef with Luxury Buffet. Hence what. Plus, I gave him his freedom. Hence he'll work harder for me, man. Obviously. So you got that amazing acting in Lord of the Rings, the amazing hard-working crewmen, obviously, Lord of the Rings. They worked hard, and yet they were making shitty money. Well, imagine paying them $150K and spoiling them. They're going to work even double harder for my movie. The actors for Zanus are going to work double harder than even what Lord of the Rings actors worked for in the Lord of the Rings movie. Because I paid them the millions, and I'm spoiling them. With the parties, the commercial ads, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? The once-in-a-while parties, the Luxury Buffet has these actors, and I gave them their freedom, as they're all going to work harder for me. Everyone will work harder for me in my movie. Trust me, when I release a documentary and you see the crewmen working, you interview them, you're gonna see how much more happy the crewmen are in my movie. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see how hard the chefs work, how hard the dishwashers work, how hard the makeup artists work, how hard the construction crewmen work, how hard the cinematographers work, how hard the special effects team work, because I paid them all a rich salary, yeah. Why is that Hollywood would never pay, obviously. You're gonna see how much harder working the crewmen are in my movie compared to what? Compared to Lord of the Rings. Because Lord of the Rings, they got shitty like 30K, man. 25K, 30K, 40K. They serve them not bad. They serve them not bad food, meat, potatoes, and pasta and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They rented some shitty trailers to cook the food. Whereas me, I'm actually hiring actual chefs, top-notch luxury kitchen equipment, nice plates. I'm also gonna have my 17 make the calls for nice tables for them to sit down. Nice tables for the crewmen. I'm gonna have them build like a portable building for everyone for everyone to dine and eat. I'll also blast music. I'll have some nice music. Blast some nice music when people are eating. That way you give them a good experience. Obviously, I gave the crewmen 3 beers once a week too. Every time once a week you get your 3 beers. All the crewmen and all the actors get their 3 beers once a week. Peter Jackson, myself, my wife, we get 3 beers once a week. The 3rd year, when the crewmen are preparing Switzerland, obviously, and the 4th year when production starts. Hence, I'm spoiling them. Hence, they're going to work harder for me, obviously. You're going to see how much harder Peter Jackson will work in my movie. You're going to see, I don't know, you're going to go watch the documentary of Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Peter Jackson worked his ass off, obviously, but you're going to compare him. Yeah, you compare Peter Jackson to Lord of the Rings. You compare him to Zanus. Yeah, Peter Jackson he looks a lot more happy. You can tell he worked much more hard on Ivan than even did for Lord of the Rings. Because Ivan paid him a lot of money, obviously, and he gave him his freedom. I gave him his freedom, and I spoiled him a lot more than what they did in Lord of the Rings. I spoiled Peter Jackson like crazy, obviously. Hence, he'll work harder for me, obviously. You see what I'm saying here? That's why Last of Us will be better than what? Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, because I know what I'm doing. If you want to get the best movie ever made, you have to pay your crew an unheard amount of money. Hence why you have a big $410 million budget, obviously. Pay your director a lot of money, your executive producer a lot of money. Give your executive producer power, obviously, and pay him an unheard money. I'm paying Peter Jackson a rich $75 million, which is a shitload of money. More money than any director will ever make in Hollywood, obviously. Spoil him with his limo driver, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, give him an unlimited budget. That way, you get a better movie, obviously. I gave Peter Jackson unlimited budget for my movie. Hence he can do whatever he wants, pretty much. Hence, I'll get a better movie. For the action sequences, the horror of the wolves, the set building, the CGI technology, the extras, the IMS cameras. I'm updating my IMS cameras. You can also update your cameras. You can update your camera lenses for more focus. You can update your speakers. That way you get better sound. Yeah, and you also have the 4K Blu-ray effect. Hence why Skyscraper will be the best. Peter Jackson will, yeah, Ivan, You know what I'm saying? If you apply all this technology, including your 4K, including your 4K Blu-ray, if I could look at something unheard of, yeah, you have the unheard of technology, and I'm also adding in the 4K Blu-ray effect, something better than 1080p, and you're looking at something else. Hence why I recommend you guys all get a theater system. That way you get an unheard of experience in your house, man. And I guarantee you, Peter Jackson will follow us. Yeah, Ivan, I'm gonna build that private IMAX theater room in my house. Yeah, he's gonna copy. Yeah, I'm gonna build that private IMAX theater in my house. You know what I'm saying? That way you get an unheard of experience, obviously. Because there's nothing better than IMAX for a projector screen. Nothing better than IMAX. Hence, me and VJ are gonna get an unheard of experience in our condo, man. For Zanus, this is something top notch. I guarantee you, all the actors are gonna put money into a theater system. All the actors in Hollywood are gonna put money into a theater system, and everyone around the world is gonna put money into a theater system. Because you're looking at something top notch. Yeah. Hence why I don't mean to be rude, man. No offense. All you actors chose my other four movies, you're lucky. You're obviously lucky also, as all my movies have crazy buzz. But the actors for Zanus are the luckiest, man. The actors for Zanus are the luckiest actors. Because Zanus is a unique story, man. It's the best story ever told in motion picture, man. You'll see what I mean reading my book. Trust me, I wouldn't be cocky if my book wasn't as good. I would not be cocky if my book was not this good. You're looking at a masterpiece that I wrote, man. I wrote a masterpiece, man. A masterpiece even better than J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. As all these authors, like Brandon Sanderson, I recommend you guys check out his Way of Kings series, by the way. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm throwing your book out there. Patrick Rothfuss, Name of the Wind, right? I recommend you check out his book, obviously. I heard some great things about that book. J.K. Rowling, George R. Martin. You know what I'm saying? All these guys, right? All these famous fantasy authors. Even once they read my book, they're all going to feel like, shit, yeah, Ivan wrote a masterpiece better than all our books. He wrote a masterpiece better than Harry Potter, a masterpiece better than Way of Kings, the Stormlight series, Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight series, obviously. He wrote a masterpiece better than Game of Thrones. Yeah. I wrote a fucking masterpiece. Yeah, man. The world building of my book is, the world building of Zanus is probably just as good as Name of the Wind and Name of the Wind and Game of Thrones, but the story of Zanus tops those stories, obviously. Well, Zanus has very good world building. The world building of my story is very, very good. It's very deep. I gave you guys an in-depth study of my book. If you pay careful, close attention to my book when you read it, yeah, Ivan has rich world building. Yeah, I have rich world building, but it's not as rich as J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. You see what I'm saying? But my world building is so rich, you can even make prequels. You can make prequels, you know what I'm saying, about the past kings, the past wars, feuds, all that stuff. But I told you, after Zanus, I am done. I am not writing any more books. I am done. Some fans might ask you, hey, Ivan, are you going to make any prequels? I'm like, no, man, I'm not making any prequels. After Last of Us Zanus, I am done. I'm moving on to another movie. I am not writing any more books. I am not making a Last of Us Zanus prequel. I'm just going to make that one movie, and that's it. I'm moving on to my Great Escape movie. As after I write Zanus, I am done. I finished writing my book. I'm done. I'm going to go over my ground, my younger brother, and I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, pay this fee, cry my eyes on. And once I lose my book, I am done. I'm not writing any more books. As I guarantee a lot of book nerds are going to ask me, are you going to write any more prequels? I'm like, no, man, I'm not writing more prequels. I am done. I'm just going to act in movies with my wife, and that is it. Obviously. Right? Hence why I know Ivan, yes, I know what I'm doing, man. Trust me, Zanus is my baby. I know what I'm doing for my book. Hence why I want to co-write it. That way I have creative control, obviously. But I need help. I want my director co-write a movie. That way he knows the ins outs of my story, and he does a concept movie. That way we have the same vision. Hence, as long as he's directing those and has help, you will get the story that I envisioned, obviously, and you'll get an amazing movie, obviously. You see what I'm saying? As I don't want Peter Jackson winging it for my fucking Zanus movie, man. If he did that, I'd be very, very pissed off. I'd be so pissed off, I might even fire him. I mean, look, man, I'm firing you. I'm hiring another director. I don't care if I have to put more money into the movie. There'll definitely be a delay, and I'll have to hire another director or something like that if he winged it. I'd be very, very pissed off, man. I don't want you winging it for my precious Zanus story. I want my story to. I want my movie. Look, man. I want my movie to be better than even the book itself. I want my movie adaptation to be better than the book. As in my opinion, the movie should be better than the book because you're bringing the world to life. But in most cases, it's very rare. In most cases, usually the book is better than the movie. For my movie, I want the movie to be better than the book, and it will be better than the book because I'm acting in it. I'm bringing the character of Tacius to life, man. Who better to play the role of Tacius? Someone who's God in the flesh, Ivan O'Mara. There's no one better to play the role than Ivan O'Mara himself. God in the flesh, man. Who's better to play Lithia, the beautiful sweetheart? Well, God's in the flesh, VJ. VJ, my wife, my beautiful, precious wife, right? Yeah, obviously. And VJ will leave me shocked. She'll be like, holy shit, Ivan, you wrote this? You wrote this story? I'm like, yeah, I wrote it, man. I wrote it, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh my God, Ivan, this is an amazing story. You know what I'm saying? She's like, Ivan, this is an amazing story. This is the best fantasy story ever written. Ivan, I see your point now. I now understand what you mean. If you adapt this to the big screen, you put a lot of money into it, you look at the best story told in motion picture. Yes, you're looking at the best story told in motion picture. I know what I'm doing, man. You're looking at a movie better than The Godfather. I'm throwing this out there. Better than The Godfather. Better than The Matrix. Obviously. Better than Godfather. Better than The Matrix. Better than The Lord of the Rings, man. Yeah, man. Look at a movie better than all those movies. That's how good Last of Us is. Trust me, you guys think I'm crazy. Once you read my book, you'll find somebody, yeah, I've never been so entertained reading a fantasy series like Ivan O'Mara. Yeah. Ivan O'Mara kept me entertained throughout the whole story. He kept me hooked. He kept me hooked like no other author has done before. Yeah, because I'm a creative genius. I know how to keep you hooked, obviously. He kept me more hooked than J.R.R. Tolkien. You know what I'm saying? As J.R.R. Tolkien, I told you, his what? His Lord of the Rings books can be a little dry and boring. Trust me, I read you the first half of book 1. I've read you the first half of Fellowship of the Ring. You guys see what I mean? The book can be pretty dry and boring, yeah. Whereas my book, the whole story, you're hooked. Some of my chapters are not as interesting, obviously, but they keep you hooked enough to move on to the next chapter. My book is not dry. My book is very, very fresh. It's every time you read a new chapter, it's refreshing and it keeps you hooked. Whereas Lord of the Rings is very dry. Whereas my book is very fresh. It keeps you hooked. You know what I'm saying? Well enough for you to continue on the story. Because I'm a creative genius. I know how to keep you hooked. End the video here in 8 minutes. Hence why I want to put unheard amount of money into Zane. It's $980 million. I'm not going any higher than that. That's more than enough. As I'm already paying Peter Jackson his rich $75 million. And Jon Favreau when they're flowing their bonus, obviously. Hence what? If they're hired, obviously. Hence what? Hence I'm not going any higher than 980. 980 is good enough, obviously. And I'm going to have a budget. I'm going to put it. Okay, I'm going to tell you. Okay, I'm going to tell Peter Jackson. Okay, Peter. I'm going to put a $30 million budget. $30 million budget for Seppuku. That's more than enough. I don't know, $35 million for the costumes and weapons. And another like $35 million towards the extras. That way you have a budget, which is why it's me and VJ are going to have what? We're going to eat. Me and VJ are going to have like $15, $20 million over my budget, man. We're going to have a lot of money over my budget because it's unheard of budget. I'm putting $5-6 million towards the movie. And let's say if we have $30 million left over, I'll put like an extra $20 million towards special effects. Okay, if we have extra money, I'm going to tell the special effects team, look, man, if I have a lot of money left over in the budget, the movie budget, I'll pour more money into special effects for the horror, the wolves, the axes. That way you get an even better movie, yeah. That's why we're looking at unheard technology for Zanus, man. Something crazy. Yeah, man. You see what I'm saying here? Yeah, man. And I'm going to film Zanus in Switzerland. I scouted land. I went on YouTube. I looked at drone footages for Norway, you know what I'm saying, Iceland, Sweden. I looked at all those places, New Zealand, and I saw Switzerland. I'm like, yeah, Switzerland's the best location for filming Zanus. I want Zanus filmed in Switzerland. So once I sign Peter Jackson, he signs that fat contract, that $75 million contract. Obviously, $2 million for the release. He gets his perks, obviously, his commercials, obviously. Me and VJ, I'll have VJ, the assistant director. So Guillermo del Toro, if he's hired, he'll be coming with me, obviously. We fly to what? We fly to Switzerland. Obviously, we stay in Switzerland for a good 5 days and we scout land in Switzerland. Okay, let's scout good film locations for the movie. And again, if we do Peter Jackson, we fly on my jet. I'll just have it be me, VJ, the assistant director, Peter Jackson, and Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson. That's it. That's enough. I need my 17. I know my 17 are going to want to come with me. Look, man, I need you guys making business calls in the office. Have us four. We fly on our jet. Pay for their hotel, obviously. Pay for Peter Jackson's hotel, his feeding, and the assistant director. It will be me, VJ, the assistant director, and Peter. We fly on a private jet. We fly all the way to Switzerland. We scout land. He did that for The Hobbit. I want him doing that. I believe he did that for Lord of the Rings too. I want us doing that for Zanus. Okay, we scout a good location for Cyrus, a good location for Sapphires, a good location for Zanus. You know what I'm saying? A good location for all these places, and we scout land, obviously. Obviously, right? And we're gonna have to lease a good like 300, 400 acres of land. You want to have a lot of a lot of room for filming locations. You have to lease a good chunk of property in Switzerland for building all the sets. Obviously, most of the scenes will be shot on a set, built on location, or in a studio. Obviously, but I also want some. I also want to mix the nature of Switzerland with my movie, like I did for the movie, like I did for Lord of the Rings. You see what I'm saying here? Okay, Peter. Most of our scenes we feel like we're gonna build a set. We're gonna build a set for Zanus, a set for Cyrus. I want those sets built out on location. So the set for Cyrus, Saphius, Zanus, Barak. I want those built on location, obviously. But the scenes when we're indoors, you can have like the scenes like the banquet hall scenes, all that stuff. You can film all that in the studio. So all the indoor scenes we can film in a studio, obviously. Build a small set, film in a studio, obviously. Whereas all the scenes when we're shooting on location, you film it, you film it, you build sets on location, like they did for Helm's Deep. Helm's Deep, they built that city on location. I want to do something like that for a lot of my lands. I want the artificial forest. I want that built outside on location. You built a nice art. I want the forest of Galactic built on location. A nice like 0.5 acres for the forest, something unheard of. Yeah, Barak, where the wolves live. You know what I'm saying? The ancient Gilead city, I want to build an artificial mountain, a huge mountain. I showed you pictures of what I'm talking about. Like, remember that picture I showed you, my purchasing the rights picture? My purchasing the rights video? You saw that picture? You guys see what I'm saying? I want something like that for the cursed Western Gilead Mountains with the big mosquitoes. Look at something top notch, yeah, man. That's why Peter Jackson will be wild. Holy shit, Ivan, this is unheard of. You'll be like, oh my god, Ivan, your company blows Hollywood out of the water. This is so much better than The Hobbit, so much better than Lord of the Rings. Yeah, man, with Lord of the Rings, they built cheaper sets. Lord of the Rings, they probably only put a couple million towards set building, because they couldn't afford. Whereas my movie, I have a budget of like 30 million towards set building, man. Something crazy. A budget of like 35, 40 million for the extras. 35 million for the costumes and weapons. Yeah, man, something unheard of. 25,000 Wolf Army, 50,000 Zane Army, something crazy. The Wall of Zanus. They have to build that too. Yeah, man, I want that built too. Yeah, the Wall of Zanus, yeah. At the end of the day, you have to rely on the CGI technology to make it look amazing, obviously. But built like big sets, that way you get a more natural look. Instead of that cheesy computery look. So I'm saying, you know how Lord of the Rings, the lands looked what? The lands look natural. I want my lands to look natural. Amazing, unheard technology, but have it look natural. I don't want it to look computery like they did in The Hobbit. No, otherwise they're going to flop. I want the lands to look natural. I know what I'm doing. Trust me. That's why I'm going to tell Peter Jackson, hey, Peter Jackson, in Hollywood, they have film. Yeah, in Hollywood, they have film cameras and digital cameras. Okay, Peter, I don't want digital film cameras. I want film. That way you get, now I understand. You want to get the natural look. Yeah, Peter, I want to get the natural look. I want to lease 10 film IMAX cameras. You see what I'm saying? I want at least 10 film IMAX cameras. That way you get the natural look. I know what I'm doing. If you have the natural look, you'll get a better movie for Philosopher's Zones. Whereas if you have that CGI look, the movie won't be as good. It'll be pretty good, obviously, but I don't want it to look computery like it did for The Hobbit. I want it to look natural. As The Hobbit, they relied heavily. They built cheap sets, and they relied heavily on that green screen. I don't want you doing that for my movie. Rely more heavily on the set building, and you add in the CGI technology to fill in the blanks, obviously. Pour on her money towards CGI. That way the world looks amazing, but have the world look natural. That's why I want to build like a big sets, man. That way you get like on her technology for your movie, man. Yeah, man. Hire a bunch of actors. That way your world looks natural. You apply all these CGI technology for the actors. It'll look a little bit cheesy and computery, obviously. See what I'm saying? As for the war in Helm's Deep, they had to rely on CGI technology for all those orcs. Obviously, right? They only had a couple hundred extras, and they relied heavily on CGI technology, which reminded me of them actually hiring thousands of extras. That's why I'm looking at something unheard of for my movie. Yeah, man. Obviously, right? And you're not going to get any cheesy special effects for even the extras, because I paid all those special effects people, the special effects team an unheard amount of money. I paid all the assistants a nice rich $170,000, which is nice, and I paid the main people $2 million, and I spoiled them with a buffet and once a month party. As I'm going to do once a month parties for the people in Vancouver during post-production too. And so I'm going to tell them, look, man, I don't want any cheesy quality for the background fighting for the special effect, for the extras. I want good, I said, yeah, put money into the extra fighting too. Don't just focus on the main actors. Have the background fighting be pretty good fighting too. It doesn't have to be amazing, but have it be pretty good that we get a good movie. I don't want cheesy quality like you got for Lord of the Rings. Like those liars you got appearing out of nowhere and you know what I'm saying? And that scene where the orcs breach Helm's Deep, you see a bunch of men, the next scene you see 10 men left. No, I don't want that cheesy quality. I want you what? I don't want cheesy special effects. I don't have to worry about cheesy special effects because I put a lot of money into the movie and I pay a lot of money. I don't want cheesy quality for the background extra fighting. That way they work hard for you, yeah. And they all will work hard for me because I pay y'all. Ivan, you spoil me. The special effects people just experienced luxury. The special effects people got spoiled, are getting spoiled with one-stop parties. I pay a lot of money, but Faye hands are going to work hard for me. Oh, you can drink milkshake, coffee, for breakfast. Hands are all going to work hard for me. Nice dessert at the nighttime. Hands are all going to work hard for me, yeah. They're not going to slack off. Obviously. And Peter Jackson, when he watches post-production, he's even going to be shocked. Like, holy shit, Ivan. I can't wait to watch this. We just shook the world. You know what I'm saying? Even, oh my god, the world's going to be so shocked by how scary Eretat is. Eretat's a devil. Yeah, he feasts the devil. Yeah. He's going to be part of that buzz. Yeah, and he's lucky, obviously. You see what I'm saying? Anyways, I thought it'd be cool to make another video today. I am tired as fuck. This is it for Ivan Amir. Stay tuned tomorrow. I'll make another video on this amazing Ivan's Listening series. I'm going to shut this camera off, go to the store, get a pack of smokes, come back, enjoy the show. This is Ivan Amir. I am signing out. Peace.